This is Heart Rhythm TV. I'm Clinton Thurber. Welcome to the Fellows in Focus series. I'm here with Dr. Jim Cheung today. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Cheung.
Thank you.
We're here to talk about the competency-based pathway for training and the origins and how it's going and where it's going in the future. First, I want to introduce Dr. Cheung. He's a professor of medicine at Cornell in New York. He is the program director for the EP fellowship there. He is the ACC EP section chair as well, and most relevant to what we're talking about today, he's the vice chair of the program directors committee for FHRS. So he's uniquely qualified to talk about this this movement and this new idea that's getting put into place. So tell us where this came from.
Yeah, so thanks, Clinton, for having me. And so what's interesting is it seems like a new idea, but in some ways it's not.
Okay.
You know, a lot of this was born out of the idea of a move in graduate medical education towards a more competency-based training. The funny thing is that when I trained, it was EP fellowship was formerly a one-year fellowship, but I trained 2 years in general cardiology de facto, and then had 2 years of EP following. So it was almost like a short track kind of thing.
Okay.
And so this alternative pathway sort of follows in that same vein, because now EP is formally a 2-year ACGME fellowship program. We're now offering for pilot programs the idea of a blended year. So the 3rd year of cardiology fellowship will then be a blend of EP and cardiology. So allowing participants in this alternative pathway to complete their training in 4 years. If you add up 2 years of cardiology, 1 year of blended cardiology and EP, and then followed by 1 more year of EP.
I see, okay. And identifying folks who may be good candidates for this, what's the key? Do we have to catch them earlier in the training pipeline, or how do you go about thinking about that?
Right. So this program is really meant for specific kinds of candidates, and we feel that the advantages of this program, again, it's not a one-size-fits-all, and we feel that the advantages are that it can shorten the period of training. For folks who have a very early focus, this is the way to go. We feel that it can kind of improve work-life balance, and those who have concerns about sort of the duration and also the expense of training. And so the best candidates are really those who really have an early focus in EP, and the thing is that you can't have everything, because if you shorten your general cardiology training, you may get a little less training in, say, echo or nuclear that you might otherwise have if you did the full 3 years of general cardiology.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. And this is already being implemented, I understand. Is it fair to say it's a pilot in some programs, or how is that?
Yeah, that's right. So just in the past month, so there's quite a bit of demand, as you can imagine, amongst the cardiology and EP programs of participating in this. So there was a lottery, and there are lucky 20 programs that were just selected in the past month
20, wow. Okay.
who are going to be part of this. And the ACGME really wants to make sure, though, that our trainees are not shortchanged by shortening this program. So it is, they have asked us for the 20 programs that are participating to undergo very careful evaluation of their trainees as they get selected and as they go through the program, to make sure that they participate in the usual milestone evaluations, cardiology in-training exam, the EP in-training exam, just to make sure that they're hitting the same benchmarks that they otherwise would if they went 3 and 2. So hence the pilot. So at the moment, it's 20 programs. I'm optimistic that it's going to be successful, and that we also hope that that this program will be offered to more than just the 20 that are participating in the initial pilot. But it is, the candidates will be chosen this coming cycle, so they actually won't start, as far as now things are a bit in motion, but as far as I understand, it probably won't start, the EP, the blended year won't start until July of next year. But
I see.
I could be wrong, we'll see.
Any pitfalls or potential issues you might foresee
Yeah, so like I said, we the most important thing really is to make sure that the trainees who come out of our programs are well trained. And so, really 2015, 2016 is when EP went from a 1-year, 2-year program on the basis of the fact that, as you know, you're a second-year EP fellow. There's a lot to learn. The range of procedures have really exploded in the past 5 to 10 years. And it takes really, if not the full 2, but just about the full 2 to get really skilled. And we just want to make sure that that the fellows who participate in this are going to be okay with a kind of faster process, and also that their general cardiology will be a little bit curtailed. So they're going to hit a lot of their COCATS requirements, hopefully within the first 2 years. So it's going to be pretty intense. And acknowledging that you can't necessarily have your cake and eat it. You may not get the nuclear numbers that you may need. You may not hit the highest level for your echo training. But again, for the appropriate candidate, it's the way to go.
Yeah. It sounds amazing from a fellow's perspective, at least. I feel like I've been doing this forever. I'm at the tail end of training and everything. I would have loved to have had an opportunity to shorten a little bit.
Sure.
But thanks for joining us, Dr. Cheung. That sounds amazing. We'll see how it goes here in the future. This has been Heart Rhythm TV, Fellows in Focus. Thanks for joining us.